With so much uncertainty in Washington, officials here in Wisconsin are taking steps to prepare for a possible default.
But can the state weather the potential loss of billions of dollars in federal funding? News 8's Lou Hillman joins us now in our studio with more. Lou?
Well, state officials say yes, it can, but only for about 3 months. And even in that time, not all of the federal programs people count on would be covered. It would be an unprecedented scenario. Wisconsin and other states looking at the potential loss of billions of dollars in federal funding.
A prolonged default by the government could have a very negative impact on the programs that we provide here in Wisconsin.
Department of Administration Secretary Mike Huebsch says a federal default would impact many of the programs people depend on, including Medicaid and student financial aid.
It's a lot of those programs that the federal government, the state really acts as kind of a pass-through or a match for a lot of those programs.
Huebsch says the state can borrow money from other funds to help pay for some of those programs, but the money is limited.
We are in a situation right now where we could sustain a government default for at least 3 months.
Even if the state picks up the slack, not all federal programs would be guaranteed funding.
I'm hopeful that people come to their senses in Washington.
Jim Gaussman is the La Crosse County Veterans Service Officer. He says since veterans' benefits are paid directly from the U.S. Treasury, they could be cut off entirely.
For hundreds of these veterans, that's their sole income. So down the road, if the checks stop, that's quite a severe problem.
Gaussman says it would impact more than 1,500 La Crosse County veterans and their families. Collectively, he says it would be about $2 million per month in lost payments.
You know, that would truly be a tragedy for this nation's veterans.
And of course, that's just one example of a program that would be impacted should there be a default. Another is Social Security. More than 50 million Americans rely on that benefit for their income. And tonight we heard President Obama say if there is a default, there will not be enough money to pay those checks out entirely.
All right, thanks, Lou. Wisconsin state officials say they'll have to prioritize what programs would be temporarily funded should there be a default. Huebsch says one of the priorities will be Medicaid, a health program for low-income individuals and people with disabilities.